Hi there, my name is Alexis Naranjo. This is a video for my legal, ethical, and social values of business course with Professor Hiram Paz at Florida National University. I'm going to be talking about a specific case. This is my life skill assignments to Fertilife. So I had already discussed this in a previous report where Fertilife is a fertilizer corporation that recently acquired a new plant in Mexico. So we are told that lower ranked employees in Fertilife's Mexican plant are becoming seriously ill. Let us remind ourselves that Fertilife is a producer of fertilizers, of which there are different kinds, but one thing that they have in common is that they're very, they can have a negative effect in one's health if proper measures and safety hazards are not carefully monitored. So staff members are carrying out these operations. The staff members that are carrying out these operations need to have the proper training and the proper gear to protect themselves against the powerful substances, the powerful chemicals that are within this these fertilizers. Just for you who don't know, fertilizers are substances that provide nutrients to plants to promote and fasten their growth. Although there are different recipes, most of them contain nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. There are organic and inorganic. The organic can have, fish, raw vegetables, and things like that. However, the inorganic fertilizers have secondary effects that may result in the deterioration of one's health. The risk of working with fertilizers is so severe in the United States that it is considered an occupational hazard. The effects will typically surge in the long term rather than the short term, and among those effects come effects will typically surge in the long term after having been exposed throughout an extended period of time. Among the main long-term effects of daily exposure to these substances are most respiratory issues. It may also cause disturbances of the kidneys, lungs, and even sometimes cause cancer. So yes, it is very harmful. In addition to all the negative effects of the fertilizers on our health, we must remind ourselves that this particular plant is located in Mexico. No offense, but the numbers of occupational diseases and injuries reported in Mexico are not as high, are much higher than the actual reported numbers. If the factory does not meet the ventilation requirements, then this is just an add-on to making it worse for your health. I know that because Fertilife should be aware of all these hazardous effects on your health as an employee, I believe that they should provide a really good health insurance. They should also alert their workers that there are possible long-term effects in this line of work from the very first time that they meet with them to interview. However, although you make them aware, I'm pretty sure that this is not going to make a difference, because most of these people working these jobs, they're low-income individuals. So most of these people in these small towns of Mexico are in such need of the money that this will not make a difference for them. The fact that they can get ill from it will not make a difference, because they need the money. They need to earn a salary that may be considered slightly higher than one of a local business, because we have that perception. Latin Americans have that perception that when we work for an American company, there's a certain Americanness to it, meaning that they're more uh, ethical, and they're more aware, and they're more considerate of their employees. That is not always the case, for example. So yes, I believe that Fertilife is not bringing the American nest to the Mexican plant because it is cheaper, and it is easier to maintain the current work system rather than to take into consideration the same measurements used in the United States plants, where they are even more successful than the ones in Mexico. And it could be because they follow the regulations. Just an FYI, the World Health Organization addresses issues involving occupational hazards, like the workers at Fertilife, by bringing in the term occupational health. It is it is focused on educating employees about the prevention methods towards hazardous works. Occupational health is a healthcare field dedicated to understanding and educating on prevention methods to provide workers with causes that alleviate some of the harms that could that could lead on from these kinds of work fields. I believe that if Fertilife decides to move on with the idea of letting their employees know when they are hired, that this is dangerous, this is a dangerous job, when they make their applicants aware of these dangers, they're already taking a different perspective to the matter. They're demonstrating that although excuse me, they're demonstrating that although they need this job done, one's health should and always will come first, and that is the one thing that I think Fertilife should emphasize on. It is a selfless act that can improve the image of the company. It is something so small and simple, but it does make a difference. Once hired, the company needs to train all new employees and all existing employees on the day-to-day operations, along with the hazard prevention method training. That is crucial. I believe that, and I know that training is the best key to everything, because if you're taught well the first time, you got it. So that is crucial. Also, when an employee feels that the company that he or she works for cares for them, their health, the employee feels appreciated, and it also makes a difference in that employee's quality of life, and it makes Fertilife look good. This thought is in line with the concept of happy workplace that emphasizes the work-life balance among workers, meaning that their personal life, their family, and society, they are happy with their lives. So unconsciously, not only would they be making their employees feel better and safer, but they would also be contributing to an upgrade in quality of life to millions of Mexicans. If you do it with one employee, if Fertilife takes on one employee and makes him feel better, then that man or woman goes home feeling better about themselves, then it makes their children feel good. So it's a chain. There's another situation as well that is presented with this case, is the matter that there is an American manager, one of the Americans who was sent over from the United States over to Mexico to manage the company. He is having inappropriate behaviors towards female workers, which makes me really upset. Workers had to be dealt. I think this sort of situation needs to be dealt with more aggressively. If Fertilife wants to fix their image in a situation, in this kind of situation, it can't happen. It needs to be taken seriously from the very beginning. As human resources, which is the position that I am considered as within Fertilife, I am sure that this company, I would require proof of inappropriate behavior from that manager. I am sure that the company this big should have cameras all over. And if not, then that would be one of the changes that I would implement, because this will help this case to see if this American manager is being disrespectful and having inappropriate behaviors towards women. But it will also help in the future for any accusations of any kind. Once again, I turn to the ideals of one of my favorites, Edward Freeman. He asked that we do more than what is expected of us, and this will go a long way. Stakeholders theory. Fertilife's decisions affects Mexico. You are bigger than you think, and the severity of your decisions is more potent than you believe. Make change and be better, Fertilife. Intergenerational equity, meaning pass on the good rather than the bad. Thank you.